Hey, what's up, traders? This is watch this video for Wednesday, October 23rd. SPY gapped up a little bit, but put in a solid red day. When you look at the intraday, we had a Brexit reaction, Brexit vote reaction. I would love to get into the details of Brexit, but I don't understand any of it. I just expect, by the year 2030, they'll probably have a final referendum on it. So until then, you get things like this in the market. So in the afternoon, we were in a kind of a narrow, choppy range all day, which already makes trading frustrating. And then you get the big sell-off, little bounce, and it ends up going out at its lows. Couple really nice ideas today. Lyft, LYFT, got this big pop. And so we started looking at Uber and Lyft. We're both on watch. Let's go to 5-minute candles there. Lyft popped and then ended up taking out the highs again. Uber had topped out right here around 33 and then put in this lower high at 32.80 and was flagging. And then Lyft pushed new highs again. Wayne spotted a seller on the tape right at 32.80, which is a break of the lower high right here. Good chance we take that seller out, that we're going to rip through the high of day. That was Wayne's call through that 32.80 idea. And look at that. Just didn't look back. Went all the way up over a buck from there. Great call by Wayne. And another example, bear with me here, KMB. KMB was just selling straight down, and it was nearing support. I actually called this just a simple 5-minute buy setup. I mean, that's really oversold. Had some support in this area, and then just a 5-minute buy setup, right? 130 and 20 cents, 130.20, and it went up to almost 133 from there. Trigger here, worst case stop here. That was a pretty easy little trade, actually. And sometimes as a day trader, you just try to find these anomalies, these things that are way extended from the moving averages, running into support, and you get these nice snapback bounces. So, it's not my favorite setup in the world. Hey, watching this, you know what? I'm going to add this to my watch list. Actually, this is really interesting. So I'm going to put this on the watch list because it should be on bounce watch. That's a big day down. The 200-day and the previous low, the most recent low, right around this 128, mid 128s, 128.29 X is where it bottomed here. You've got 128.79, 200-day. So big sell off there. Really like it for a potential bounce in this area around the 200-day tomorrow. So anyway, those were a couple intraday trades today. Let me go into the watch list for tomorrow. I'm just looking for some oversold bounces in most of these. Zoom is one of them. ZM, just really straight off a cliff. IPO'd back here in on April 18th. Worked its way all the way up to 105 and now has almost completely round tripped. I'd actually like to see a nasty flush below 60 and then look for a snapback bounce. McDonald's, big sell off right into that 200-day and flushing the whole number 200. Certainly some support here to the left from the May area. So I'm looking for a snapback bounce in McDonald's. Remember, I am just a day trader. So these are ideas that might give me a trade tomorrow. None of these are investment or hold overnight ideas. I don't even hold my wife overnight, all right? I do not hold overnight. So MasterCard, ugly day, MA, but bounced nicely off this, let's see, what was the low here? 260.41 back here, and it's gotten there in a hurry. Potential bounce play there tomorrow. AYX, I don't know, 6 days in a row down. You always look to the left and say, hey, there's actually pretty good support in this area. Spent almost a month in this area. So this is a good setup for a snapback bounce tomorrow. Beyond Meat, not such a pretty chart here, but most of these aren't pretty. This one just keeps selling off every day. I'd like to see I think you might get some support around this 100 where it hiccuped back here. Spent about a week back there. I'd like to see a flush below 100 maybe on an intraday basis, and we might get a nice trade in it. CrowdStrike, I've been watching this for a bounce for several days in a row, and it hasn't given me any kind of setup, and it just keeps bleeding lower. CRWD goes back on watch again. I'm just going to keep watching it until it gives me a setup. KMB, I just talked about this one, big sell-off. Recent lows right here, plus the 200-day. That's a very interesting setup. And then Lyft, I talked about that. Nice little break out of this little range here. Probably a lot of shorts in the name, very strong volume. I think they said, somebody came out and said they're going to reach profitability a year sooner than expected. Don't quote me on that, but it was something to that effect. And a pretty strong move, albeit closing well off of its highs. By the way, you chat room traders, look at this whole number flush right at the 560. Look at that. I don't even want to, I'm embarrassed to say it. I was sitting with a bid at 42.90 as it was coming down, right? Looking for that whole number flush and the 560 flush, 42.90, and it got down and started flushing 43, and I pulled my bid. This was my biggest blunder of the day. I canceled my bid. I don't know, the Brexit thing, the market was weak. I just said, you know what? We had some good trades today. I pulled my bid in. It went down 2 cents below, so I would have gotten filled. Had my bid at 92, and it went down to 90. So I would have gotten filled right there and gave a nice, I don't know, 70-cent bounce from there. Anyway, I'd throw that in because I was so mad at myself for that. Anyway, Lyft, certainly a strong move. We'll watch for a red to green or something like that. And then last, I'm going to throw Teva on long watch. Had this attempted pop yesterday and then kind of a quiet inside day today. There's plenty to watch. We'll add some gappers in the pre-market, and we'll be looking for those intraday anomalies to place some trades in. I'm done babbling. We'll see you in chat tomorrow.